In this video, we'll explore a hidden secret of Sufism, why loving yourself is not vanity, but a way of loving Allah. And at the end, I will share 3 timeless steps of self-love the Sufi way. 3 steps that can change the way you see yourself, others, and your Creator. One day, a dervish asked Ibn Arabi, "Master, is it a sin to love my nafs, self?" Ibn Arabi replied, "You think your nafs is your own being, but in reality, it is the spirit He has breathed into you. To love it is to love His work. Love yourself. But this is not about standing in front of the mirror and saying, 'I'm special.' It is about showing respect to the secret God has placed within you. For if you hate yourself, you are insulting the art of the one who created you." Rumi says in the Masnavi, "You are a work of art. Do not insult the artist. Whoever despises himself insults the master who made him." That is why loving yourself is not selfishness. Loving yourself means living with the awareness of a divine trust. Your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, they are all His touch. Just as admiring a painting is respect for the painter, the respect you show to your being is directed to Him. But here lies the danger. Modern culture tells you to love yourself, and often means pamper your ego. Sufism, however, says, love yourself by recognizing your nafs, not submitting to it, and seeing the divine breath behind it. For you are not merely a biological body. You are a being touched by the command, be. Think of Mansur al-Hallaj and his words, Ana al-Haqq, I am the truth. He did not mean I am God. He meant my being is not independent of His being. So the deepest point of loving yourself is to see your own existence as a mirror of His existence. And to despise the mirror is to belittle the light it reflects. Once, a disciple came to Abdul Qadir al-Jilani and said, "Master, I hate myself because I am sinful." Jilani replied, "Do not hate yourself, hate your sin. To despise yourself is from Satan. Humility is one thing, despising yourself is another. Here is the fine line. Love yourself, but hold this love within divine measure. Do not idolize yourself, but do not deny yourself either." Think about it. When someone insults himself, is he not belittling the voice, the face, the mind, the soul God has given him? That is like demolishing a mosque, not its walls, but the meaning within it. In Sufi terms, to love yourself is to know yourself, and to know yourself is summed up in the saying, "Man arafa nafsahu faqad arafa rabbahu." Whoever knows his self knows his Lord. Some narrations call this a hadith, though scholars clarify it is not, but it is a word of great wisdom. For the Sufis, it is the key to truth. Love yourself, for He loved you. Otherwise, He would not have created you. Think of a mirror. The light of the sun shines in it. If you throw a stone at the mirror, are you not in fact attacking the light? Despising yourself is the same. You are a reflection of God's command, be. To belittle yourself is to belittle the source of that reflection. Ibn Arabi said, "God revealed Himself to His servant so that the servant might love himself. The form of the servant is the form of the All-Merciful. This means, your very form is a manifestation of His name Al-Rahman. And when you despise this manifestation, you are not just insulting your body, you are insulting His mercy." Rumi says, "Do not think yourself worthless. Within you is a secret that shakes the worlds. This is not some modern motivational phrase meant to sound nice. It is a reminder of the ontological value of your existence. The call to love yourself here is not narcissism. It is not about inflating the ego. It is about aligning what you call I with Him. Not deifying your nafs, but recognizing the divine breath behind it. There are two dangers in not loving yourself. 1. You become passive by denying yourself. 2. In that denial, you also ignore the art of God. That is why some people, when they say, "I am worthless," think they are being humble. But in truth, they are rejecting the trust God has given them. The path that led to Mansur al-Hallaj's execution was paved by those who misunderstood his words, "Ana al-Haqq." He did not make himself God. He said that within his being there is nothing other than Him. If you do not love yourself, you are also denying God's words. I made you my vicegerent on earth. Quran, al-Baqarah 230. Even the angels asked, "Will you place upon it one who will cause corruption and shed blood?" But God replied, "I know what you do not know." That is where your value lies, in that hidden secret. Modern culture tells you to love your body, your photo, your image. But Sufism says, love yourself because He is within you. Your body is mortal, but the soul within it is His breath. When you love yourself, you are in fact loving His breath. A dervish was once asked, "Do you love yourself?" He answered, "I do not love myself. I love what appears within me." That is the whole difference. Do not despise yourself, for to despise yourself is to search for flaws in His creation. And God says there is no flaw in His creation. Quran, al-Mulk 67:3. Love yourself, but with divine reverence. Love yourself, for love returns to the Creator. Love yourself, for one who hates himself cannot show compassion to others. If you see pain, contempt, or anger when you look at your own being, you will reflect the same outward. This is why, in Sufism, the gate of love always begins within. For whatever you give to others must first exist in you. Ibn Arabi said in al-Futuhat al-Makkiyah, "You cannot see the all-merciful in others until you see Him in yourself." This reveals the greatest secret of self-love. If you do not love yourself as God's creation, you cannot love others as His creation. Rumi expressed the same truth differently. Without a rose inside you, you cannot offer a rose to another. This means that the love you give outward is nourished by the source within. If the source is dirty, so will be the water. If the source is pure, the water gives life. But here is a delicate point. To love yourself is not to boast over others. Sufi love carries both humility and honor. Humility says, "I am not above you." Honor says, "I am God's work of art. I am not worthless." One who balances both approaches others in the same way. A story is told. A Sufi asked his student, "Imagine two pitchers. One is made of gold but contains poison. The other is clay but filled with honey. Which would you offer people?" The student replied, "Of course, the one with honey." The Sufi smiled and said, "Such is man. Loving the outside is one thing. Loving what is inside is another. To love yourself is to protect the honey within you. And what is that honey? It is the soul God breathed into you. Quran, Sad 38:72. If you do not honor that spirit, you cannot honor the spirits of others. Self-love also transforms how you see others' faults. When you see yourself as a divine manifestation, you recognize others as the same. You stop focusing on their mistakes and begin to see the secret working within them, and this vision births mercy. Abdul Qadir al-Jilani warned, "Until you learn to love yourself, your nafs will make you harsh towards others." This explains the root of many breaks in human relationships. One who does not recognize the value within himself cannot recognize the value in others. To love yourself is also to increase your love for God. For every time you look at yourself, you behold one of His works. Just like admiring the writing honors the calligrapher, or praising the pattern honors the artist. Modern culture reduces self-love to shallow self-confidence. Sufism reveals its deeper roots. Love yourself, for this love returns to the Creator. Love yourself, for this love gives life to others. But how? The first step is to stop oppressing yourself. Pay attention to the words you speak about yourself. Every phrase that belittles your being is in fact finding fault with God's work. Replace it with, "Praise be to my Lord who created me in the best of forms." Quran, al-Tin 95 verse 4. The second step is to accept your flaws. Loving yourself is not claiming to be perfect. It is to know your faults and strive to transform them. This struggle brings you closer to both God and people. The third step is not to reject the love of others. Some people cannot accept love because of their sense of worthlessness, but to accept another's love is to accept the mercy God extends through that person. Let us end with Rumi's words. To love yourself is not to be in love with your own existence. It is to love the one who created you within you. This clears away all misunderstandings. Love yourself so you can love others. Love yourself so you can love God more. Love yourself so the world cannot break you. And remember, one day when you look into the mirror and smile, let that smile not go to you, but to Him. For you are His mirror, and the light reflected in the mirror never belongs to the mirror itself.